Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for joining us for the Eyewitness Morning News. Hurricane season begins today, and while there is nothing for us to worry about just yet, there is a disturbance near Mexico. Weather expert Chris Franklin joins me now with a look at today's forecast. And Chris, while we have that disturbance in Mexico, that's not going to bother us right now.
Not even close.
Okay.
It's down in the Bay of Campeche, not even an organized system yet. Hurricane Center is going to be monitoring it, but only for the potential of maybe gaining some strength and moving into Mexico. So nothing that we need to worry about at all, but kind of just to start the season, we do have possibly our second named storm on the horizon.
Thank you, Chris. The man accused of shooting a woman at a Bourbon Street daiquiri shop is still on the run this morning. The shooting happened around noon yesterday near Iberville and Bourbon, not far from where a state trooper shot a man who was driving in the wrong direction toward a group of people. That shooting involving the trooper happened Thursday evening at around 7. Now, employees at a Mango daiquiri shop say that the man walked in angry and began arguing with employees. He then fired his gun, shooting a woman in the abdomen. Now, he later fled the scene, and New Orleans police say they have a description of what the suspect looks like, but they are not ready to release his picture. Now, as far as the victim, police say her injuries do not appear to be life-threatening and is expected to be okay. If you have information that could help police, call Crime Stoppers. At least 12 people are dead and at least 4 others injured after a gunman opened fire at a government building complex in Virginia Beach. The suspect is identified as Dwayne Craddock. He was killed in a gun battle with responding officers. CBS News' Katherine Johnson has the latest from Virginia Beach. One police officer was shot, but he was saved by his bulletproof vest. Nearly a month after Malia Davis went missing from the Houston area, remains of a child were found in Arkansas. Her remains were where the suspect said where he dumped her body. Darion Vance, the child's stepfather, told a Houston area activist that he drove to Arkansas and left Malia's remains on the side of I-30. Crews searched the area and found a body in a trash bag. Now, an autopsy will be performed on the remains. Vince was the last person to see the child, and he remains in jail this morning. And look now at a few other stories you need to know. An effort to protect people who use deadly force in churches as self-defense was shelved by a Louisiana lawmaker. Senator Gary Smith opposed the bill that was introduced by Representative Beryl Amedee. Smith said yesterday the proposal needed more work. Amedee argued that churches and synagogues have become targets. The proposal would have allowed gun-carrying churchgoers to have the right to stand their ground if they felt threatened. Amedee pulled the bill from a vote yesterday, but she does plan on reintroducing it in a later session. A Baton Rouge area principal is stepping down, get this, after he was arrested at a strip club during a school trip. Michael Como was the principal at Holy Family School in Port Allen, and they were on a school trip in Washington, D.C. He was arrested for public intoxication. Como refused to pay for his tab at the strip club and grabbed a man by his collar. The students were at their hotel under supervision of other chaperones. The Baton Rouge Diocese said that Como had submitted his resignation after the incident. Como was also a reserve officer with the Bruley Police Department. He also resigned from that position. If you live in St. Tammany Parish, there's an alert about the West Nile virus. Workers with the Parish Mosquito Abatement Department have found mosquitoes infected with the virus, which puts people in that area at higher risk. Now, this is the first case of infection in the state this year. Over the past 2 weeks, mosquitoes with the West Nile virus were found in the Tammany Hills neighborhood in Covington. Common symptoms include fatigue and headaches, and in rare cases, the virus can be deadly. President Trump threatens to slap a 5% tax on Mexican imports. Look at how these tariffs can affect you buying a car or impact your weekly shopping trips. And the FDA took its first steps to regulating CBD. Details from yesterday's hearing. Chris, it's hot, man.
Hot temperatures are going to continue for the next few days, at least the relief of a few cooling showers later today, plus an update of the tropics, all next.
Reaction was swift to President Trump's threat to put a 5% tariff on a broad range of imports from Mexico. That will go into effect June 10th unless Mexico cracks down on migrants trying to cross the U.S. border. Weijia Jiang reports from the White House. Shows just how strong a storm was in South Carolina. The second round of the 2019 U.S. Women's Open Golf Tournament was in a weather delay on Friday when lightning struck a tree between the 18th and 11th holes at the Country Club of Charleston, South Carolina. Luckily, no one was hurt.
This is why we say when thunder roars, go indoors.
Okay,
we don't come up with these rhymes just for fun. They actually have meaning behind them.
That's a very good tip. Now, what can you offer for us since we're dealing with the heat that we would like to beat this week?
Ooh.
Thank you.
Well, I mean, there's always that saying, if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. But that doesn't rhyme.
That doesn't rhyme.
And that doesn't
I know I
really
got you on the
work
spot right now.
This case. I'll have to come up with a rhyme for later. You did, though.
Thank you. I
gotta give it
appreciate
to you. Gotta give it to you. Rhyming Duke Carter.
That's how I roll.
Hey,
Chris, the Food and Drug Administration took its first step towards regulating the exploding CBD market, hosting an all-day hearing yesterday, live streamed to the public. CBD has been added to food, cosmetics, and supplements. Now, even the industry itself is begging for closer government oversight. But supporters of the industry say the new movement is misunderstood.
There is significant confusion in the market. Businesses don't know what is legally permissible, and some are making health claims in the absence of clear regulatory guidance.
CBD is derived from cannabis. Now, unlike marijuana, it contains only trace amounts of THC, which is the ingredient that creates a high. Marketers promote it as a remedy for everything from anxiety to pain to insomnia. But researchers say the science is still undecided. Well, ahead in sports, we are talking about the purple and gold. They came ready to show up and show out, so we're going to tell you how bad the Tigers beat their opponents on the diamond. Stick and stay.